Hello everyone, dear students of grade 6. Today we'll start the second part of Unit 1, lessons 3 and 4. Here we have the first page of our lesson, and on this page we will listen and read and answer the question, where do Professor and Chip go? After that we will learn and read the structure of going to versus will to express the future time. Later we'll answer some exercises related. Next part. Now listen and read to answer this question. Where do Professor and Chip go? You will listen to this conversation to answer the question given here. Listen carefully.
Listen and read. Where do Professor and Chip go?
I'm going to visit an art gallery this afternoon.
I'll come with you. Look at the sculpture. It's a robot, like me.
Be careful, Chip.
Don't worry, I'll fix it.
Oh dear. We won't come back here again.
Okay, so we are done. Let's move on to the answer of the question. Where do Professor and Chip go? So the answer is they go to the art gallery. And as we mentioned in lessons 1 and 2, the art gallery is a place where you go and see or watch some paintings. After that, read and learn. And this is the first part of our structure today, expressing the future time. We have many ways to express the future. The first two structures are going to or will. Let's read this part. Going to, use going to talk about plans or decisions we made earlier. It means before the time of speaking. So when you decide to do something before the time of speaking, so we use going to. On the opposite side, use will to talk about decisions or offers or make as we make as we speak. So in this part, the decisions are taken at the time of speaking. And also we have offers. We will discuss all these usages in the next slide. Let's look at the examples. I'm going to visit an art gallery this afternoon. I'm not going to go to town this weekend. After that, I will come with you. So this decision was taken at once at the time of speaking. I won't come with you. I'm too busy. This is the same but the opposite meaning. Look, we have the short form of will, which is the apostrophe double L, and we say I'll come. And won't, the short form of will not, both are right to use. Let's move on. Future simple. We have will and going to express the future time. Let's look at the difference between these two structures. On this side we have will, and this is the part of the form related to will. And after that we will discuss the difference in meaning between will and going to. In will, in the affirmative form, which is positive sentences, or we call it a statement, we use the subject plus will and the infinitive or the stem form, the base form of the verb. I think he will win the match tomorrow. And take care that the word tomorrow is a key word for the future time. So here, in the positive or the affirmative sentence, use the subject, the doer or the person who does the action. Then we have will or won't if it is negative. And after that, we have the stem form. In the negative part, we have won't or will not, both are right to use, but this one is the short form, plus the stem form of the verb. So he won't or will not finish his work on time. After that, we have the interrogative, and it means the question. And we have two types of questions. The first type is yes or no question. Second type is WH question. Let's look at the first type of question. The sentence here, she will visit the art gallery tomorrow. This is the statement, the affirmative one. Let's form two questions on this sentence. The first question is, will she visit the art gallery tomorrow? Look what we have done here. We started with will, then the subject and the stem form. We call it inversion. We invert, we take will at the start, then the subject, and then the stem form. So this is yes or no question. And if we want to answer this, yes, she will visit the art gallery, or no, she won't visit the art gallery tomorrow. The WH question, where, to ask about the place. So we remove the word referring to the place, which is the art gallery. Where will she go tomorrow? So here we put the WH word, which is where, then the auxiliary or the helping verb, which is will, and after that the subject and the stem form. So where will she go tomorrow? The answer is to the art gallery. Okay? So this is the form of will. Let's move on to going to. Look at this part, be going to. Be here means that we'll put am, is, are before going to use it. Affirmative form or the positive sentence, we use the subject, then verb to be in the right form according to the subject. So if we have I at the start of the sentence, we'll say I am. If we have he or she or it or a singular noun, we'll say he or she is. After that, if we have a plural noun, we'll use are. So this is the part of verb to be here. After that, going to, then the stem form, the infinitive. So here, I am going to buy a new house next week. And here the word next is a word for the future time also, like tomorrow. So that the negative form of going to is the same form, but will insert not after verb to be. Look at this sentence. He doesn't study hard. This is the future sentence here. He isn't going. So is plus not. The short form isn't. So he isn't going to get the full mark. Why? Because he doesn't study hard. So the next part is subject, am, is, are, plus not. This is the negative part. Going to and stem form. What about the question with going to? How to form? As we mentioned before, we have two types of questions, yes or no question, and WH question. The interrogative or the question. Look at this sentence. She's going to paint her room white. The color of the walls will be white. Yes or no question on this sentence. So we'll start with is before the subject. We'll say, is she going to paint her room white? And here we have to put a question mark. It is missing here. After that, we have the WH question. Let's ask about the same sentence. Let's ask about the color. So here, to ask about the color, we have what color is she going? So here we put the WH word, then verb to be, the subject going to and a stem form. What color is she going to paint her room? So this is clearly the difference between will and going to concerning the form. Let's move on to the difference between them in a meaning. So when should we use will to express the future, and when should we use be going to express the future? Let's look at will. The first part here of will, to express future actions decided at the moment of speaking. It's what we mentioned before. We call it like quick decisions. I will have salad now. I'll have salad now. So that, express a prediction based on personal opinion or experiences. Prediction without what? without evidence. So you don't mention the evidence here. Like, I think United, is a team, football team, will win a game. I think. There's no evidence. It is only his personal opinion. A future fact, something which is definitely happening in a future. So here, future fact is the sun will rise tomorrow. It is definite to happen. So here, the sun will rise tomorrow. So we call it a future fact. Like saying, he will be 20 years old next year. So it is definite to happen. To that, a promise. To give a promise. Use the expression I promise, then a future sentence using will. So I promise I won't tell anyone you broke the glass. So this is to use it to express from. An offer, to do something. I will take you to the airport tomorrow. A threat, warning someone. So here we have, I'll tell your parents what you did. So it's warning somebody. A refusal, it is the negative form of will. To refuse something, we'll say, no, I won't cook your dinner. You can cook it yourself. We have some other usages, but we will focus on these usages mainly. Let's move on to going to, and how can we use it to express the future. The first expression here is to express future plans, decided, look at this, before the moment of speaking, prior plans. And compare it to this part. In will we said the decisions are taken or made at the moment of speaking, but this one before. So if you take or make the decision at the time of speaking, so it is will. If you had the decision before that time, so it is going to. So the expression here, I'm going to visit my aunt next Friday. So he decided before saying this sentence, and he defined the time, next Friday. After that, to press a prediction based on present evidence. And compare it again to the usage of will here, we said prediction without evidence. Use will. If you have the evidence here, so use going to. Look at this one. Look at those black clouds. So we have black clouds. So it means this evidence takes us to using going to. It is going to rain. So this is the evidence. Something is about to happen. Something is about to happen. It will happen very soon. Like saying, get back. The bomb is going to explode. Look at this. So it's warning here. Get back. So it's about to happen. So we use is going to. The bomb is going to explode. So here we finished the difference between will and going to concerning the usage. Let's move on. Now let's answer the following exercises related to the structure. Read and circle. The first one is already given. Our class is going to go to the museum or a museum next week. Number 2, I'm thirsty. I'll or I'm going to get you a drink. So here, well, because this one we can consider it as a quick decision or an offer. Is offering him here or taking the decision at once, at the moment of speaking. Do you want to come to town? No. Remember known usages? I won't or I'm not going to come. I have got too much homework. So here, the answer is won't. The decision again is taken, or it is a refusal, taken at the time of speaking. We won't or we are not going to visit our grandparents today. They are away on holiday. So the answer is we are not going because we have the reason or the evidence here mentioned. I can't find my pen. Don't worry. Yes, I will. This is like a quick decision again. After that, I'll or I'm going to buy a travel book for my holiday next week. I'm going to buy because it is planned already. After that, exercise 4, complete the sentences use will or going to. Number 1 is already answered A, I'm going to buy an ice cream. I will or I'll come with you. So the second person decided at once to do this, so it is a quick decision, so use will. So that, number 2, A, I am going to take my camera to the zoo. So this is a decision taken before the time we speak. Good idea. So I will or I'll take mine too. 4, 3 first. I'm cold. I'll or I will close the window. So quick decision or offering again. Number 4, I'm going to visit India this summer. That is an amazing or an interesting country. So why going to here? Because if he's visiting India this summer, it means that he planned. He decided before saying this or telling the second person. So it's going to. Number 5, I pack my suitcase. I'm going to pack my suitcase. So you will ask me, Mr. Why not will? Because packing your suitcase means that you're going on a trip or doing something later, which you planned before saying this. So packing your suitcase is a part of the plan. So it's a plan ahead, so we have to say, I'm going to pack my suitcase. So that the person here offered to help him, so I'll or I will help you. So this is the first part and the second part of the sentence. Number 6, I don't understand this question. So speaker P will say, I will or I'll help you, offering again. So this is the exercise related to going to and well. Let's move on to the next part. Lesson 4. On this page we have read and listen. After that we read and learn the second part of the structure, which is the present continues to express the future time. And after that we'll answer some exercise on this structure. Now listen and read. Listen and read this part. And please keep your eyes on the present continuous form, which is am, is, are, and the verb plus ing, because we'll need it later to explain. We'll answer the question, where does Harry want to go with Ben?
Eat. Listen and read. Where does Harry want to go with Ben?
Hi Ben. What are you doing today? I'm catching a bus at 10:15 into town with Fred. Do you want to come? We're meeting Jack at 11 o'clock at the bus station. Then at 12 o'clock, we're going to an art exhibition at our friend's art club. In the afternoon, Fred is watching a film at the cinema. He already has tickets, but there are no tickets left, so we can't go. I'm not doing anything. Do you want to watch a DVD at my house instead? See you soon, Harry.
So the listening is done. Let's move on. So here we have read and learn. Read and learn. The second part of this structure. Use the present continuous with future meaning. Use the present continuous, which is, I said here, am, is, are, plus the verb plus ing, to talk about definite future plans and arrangements. Take care that we'll define the word arrangement in the next slide. So let's look at these examples. We are meeting at 10 o'clock. I'm not doing anything. What are you doing today? Next part. Present continuous with future meaning. So here we have, when should we use present continuous to express future? Look at the first usage. To talk about future arrangements. A future arrangement, so what does it mean, this word? Is a plan that you have decided and organized, usually with another person, a full plan. So it means that the action you express using the present continuous is like you made some steps of this action before. I'm spending Christmas and New Year with my mom and dad. So in this part, he decided and arranged it and told his mom and dad that he's not going anywhere and he is spending the Christmas with them. So he already arranged this with another person or with other people here. We are meeting Susan at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We have the time defined here. So of course he had called Susan and told her that we have a meeting at this time, so it is arranged and with another person. So we are meeting at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to talk about things they are about to start doing. This is especially common with verbs of movement such as go, come, leave, etc. So imagine that the teacher is done with his lesson and he wants to leave. And he says, I'm leaving. Any questions? So I'm leaving here means that the action is about to start. So it is a future action, but it's about to start. So here, I'm going to bed now. Good night. Will you help me to finish, or will you help me finish the housework? Sorry, I can't. I'm leaving for work now. So this action is about to happen too. Let's look at the form. Affirmative, positive sentence. He is traveling to New York at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And usually we define the exact time of this action using the present continuous. So here we have subject, am is are, verb plus ing, and then the rest of the sentence. The negative, we insert not after am is are. So subject, am is are, not, verb plus ing, and the rest of the sentence. He's not traveling to New York at 4 p.m. tomorrow. The question, we have two types of questions. As we said, is he traveling to New York at 4 p.m. tomorrow? So look here, we invert. We use the auxiliary at the start, then the subject, then the verb plus ing, and the rest of the sentence. In a WH question, we say the WH word, auxiliary, am, is, are, subject, and verb plus ing. So when is he traveling to New York? So the answer is at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So this is all about using a present continuous with future meaning. Look at this last part. Now, let's answer the following exercise. Complete the sentences, use the present continuous. So all of them will be present continuous form, but with the right form, positive or negative or question. So here, we, number one is already given. Number two, we, a train at 3:30. The time is given, arrange it. So we are catching. 3, question form, take care of this. So the answer is, are you visiting your grandparents after school? The children are playing in a football match at 2 o'clock. It is arranged because the time is defined here. What film are you watching at the cinema tonight? Jeff is going to a cafe with his friends for his birthday full lunch. And here we come to the end of our lesson today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.